Hello guys, Seth Techam here. Um, the usual phrase, it has been a little while, but this is because I've decided to take another route. Apparently my microphone is a bit too loud. Okay, now it should be slightly better. I've decided to take another route. Keep saying it's too loud. So I will need a bit of feedback from you guys. Now it should be slightly better. Okay, now it should be a little bit even more better. I've decided to take another route, meaning that I would do all the changes off camera and then make one stream showcasing all the changes, and I'll actually do that with a joystick. It's a bit more fluid. And I have made a couple changes, as you can see. I'll make a small flyby first. I should do it a bit slower. And this is already released. This is the second version of my pavilion map. It is obviously still a work in progress, but I have put onto the practical act a lot of the feedback I was given. And I'm actually going to go for a more glorious flyby without all the lines, just in game view, so that I could showcase just with the sight a little bit of the changes, and that you can enjoy it with your own eyes. And then I'll go straight to the details of everything that I've changed, from the most obvious things to the less obvious things. I didn't forget anything. It's just some lighting there that has gone missing. Yeah, so this is pretty much the map at its current state. And now, going from the most obvious changes, I have finished converting it from the blue theme to the green one, meaning applying this material here pretty much everywhere where it was blue, and obviously also converting the green light to the green light. And now going on to some a bit more geometrical details. The flag area has changed, and I have added a little bit more things. First of all, the flag that was here has been moved up here, and here you find the link gun. And I have added a lift, as well as a pretty long wall run here. And a 100 area, not that easy to reach. You can do it from a hammer jump here, or with this lift. But this lift is multifunctional because you can jump up there. But then I'll show you that with an in-game preview. And I have changed the bars. There are no more bars, as you can see. No more bars. No more bars even here. And through the energy barrier, which is actually what replaced the bars, I promised it, and you have it. A waterfall with the river. And a conduit. Just for some details, to give myself an idea of what and how will I add it. And I've added these pillars here on the new minigun area for reasons which I'll explain later on. You see one more wall run here and a slant here, which has been one of the biggest problems. Later I'll show you why. And I've added one lift, two lifts. The first one was here. Then I've added one here. And the third here. This is actually way more useful than one might think, but I'll show you everything later. I was suggested to get rid of the teleport and make a room here with a lift here, but I've ditched the idea because first of all, I really liked the teleporter here because it's a good escape from a disadvantageous area. Also considering the prize up here being the shock rifle, and also because here I added this path, which in the first version there was not. And by adding now 3 exits, making this another exit would have proven this room to be a bit too elastic and a bit too unpredictable. So I prefer to keep it like this, especially for 3v3 team deathmatch scenarios. And I have removed the 100 armor here, the 100 health, sorry, moving it like I showed before up here. And now going on to some more details. I prepared the list with the feedback as Reja and Plastic Block mainly were giving me feedback. I'll go in chronological order. The lifts, which I've already said, 1, 2, and 3. And Reja also suggested me to do the teleport removal thing, but for the moment I'll keep it like that. Maybe on the next version I might change, but I'm not sure yet. And the jump pads at the outer area has changed as for pickups, but the pickups I'll show later. I've added these 2 jump pads, but these are also a bit particular because they are a bit stronger than they might seem, because they don't boost you only up here, but they boost you even further on, but you need a bit of air control to actually go through the corridor here, because I figured that if you go for the pickup here, which is no longer a shield belt, and you land in here and you stay here, you are vulnerable from everywhere basically. So I wanted to make it that you would jump, grab the pickup midair, and you would slide on the wall and be out as soon as possible, because once you are here, the first thing you want to do is to get out of here, getting the least damage possible. Then I was suggested by pretty much everyone to change this hole. I made it a bit lower and a bit bigger so that you can also shock combo from the bottom, or you can at least, well, shoot some ballistics such as grenades or flak bolts, and the person behind the barrier is a bit more vulnerable also from this area here. If you got the sniper rifle or a hit scan like a shock rifle, you can more easily hit that. And I was also suggested to add a little bit more of slanting areas such as slopes and everything, and the first one I added was this one here. This one here, from the sniper area to the flag stand. This is, in my opinion, actually very practical. There has been a little bit of problem because of this part being slightly higher than this one, but I kind of solved it with this green part here. And obviously you can go back and forth. There is absolutely no problem. And oh, I didn't explain the lifts in detail. The first lift, like I said, you can jump from here to there directly on the platform or on this platform, but it is a bit too powerful to jump onto the armor directly. Even if you try this way, which is a bit longer, and then you wall dodge, the gravity is too strong for you to dodge onto the platform. But you can do at least one jump, two jumps, or if you feel a bit more expert, you can attempt to a jump until here, then wall dodge and then wall run. I've attempted it several times. It happened once, so I can confirm it's possible, although very difficult. Then the next lift is this one, which can serve as a shortcut to the teleport. If you're high enough, you can just front dodge and then you land directly onto the teleport, which is quite useful. But you can also reach this area here with a dodge, or even you can go up to this bridge. And the third lift, with a dodge you can reach this area, or you can go inside here, or up there. I haven't tried going to that direction, but if you can go to the U damage, you can definitely go here as well. And that was for the lifts. As for the slants, that was number one. The number two I added was this one. Now the armor, it has been a bit extended, so from the armor you can reach this area with a single dodge, but this can be quite predictable because you're pretty much vulnerable everywhere. While you're here in mid-air, the only area you're not vulnerable from is the shield belt. But from the rest, you're pretty much vulnerable, and you can either do the classic dodge wall dodge combo, or you can do dodge wall run here and then dodge back here. But I've extended it with green slopes, I can call them, until this very point, because from here on the previous version you could do dodge wall dodge and you can go back here, but to go back up there it was extremely difficult. So now with this, thanks to this part, you can do from this side and from this side a lot more easily. And then I've added this one, which has been a huge problem, because I've tried several combinations possible, and with this angle, this is the fastest you can get, which I found. This is the fastest you can get with a slope dodge, and then with a rebound you can actually go up there. But I had to make use of a trick, and in this particular point gravity is slightly reduced by a very little amount, just what is enough to boost you up here, and it's still a bit difficult to perform, but it's still a bit more possible. Alternative ways to reach this area is through these boxes, or now that I put some barriers here, you can do a wall run here from this point, right when the bridge bends. You can do a wall run and then on a wall dodge here. It is still possible. And after that, the energy barriers I mentioned, and then the boxes. I've added some boxes here and a little bit of here, so that you can get like a parkour, jumping on those round boxes. These meshes look very dark, I know, I am aware, but the meshes themselves are a bit problematic with the lighting. There is nothing I can do about it. They will be like this unless I do some advanced lighting, which I will do on further versions. And now for the pickups. The biggest change is here. Here there was the U damage, now there is the shield belt and the U damage is there. Then there was 25 armor, which I've put here instead of the minigun. The minigun, I've moved it on the other side of the map, here, instead of the link gun, which is now here. Then I also swapped the rocket launcher up here, where the grenade launcher was, and the grenade launcher is now down there. One slant that I forgot now is this one. with this one you can go up to the bridge here, or there is this big one here behind the waterfall. Basically you can wall dodge here and go up to this pillar and then jump on the bridge, or you can do the same here and then jump on the armor platform. And between these two pillars you can do a dodge, wall dodge combination, and you can swap the pillars basically. All the barriers, they are still they still block the player, but they do not block projectiles, either projectiles or hit scan. My English is gone bad. Either projectiles or hit scan, they can go both through the barrier, and this is pretty much it. Now let's go for a walkthrough, literally in game. I had to mix a bit of the player starts. There are 2 more player starts, and this is the minimap. Basically, you can see a little bit how the map is spread. You have pretty much all the pickups, considering that it is a team deathmatch map. So I guess this is a bit balanced. It could be better with some feedback from you guys. It would be very nice. But without further ado, let's now go onto the proper game. Yes, there is still this static mesh here because the lighting up below this static mesh is awful, because I put really too many brushes. I initially thought about adding a wall here, which would separate these 2 exits, but then it would have been too invasive for this area here. So I figured I would get it out. I also added some more health vials and some more health packs, considering obviously again a team deathmatch. There's also a nice path you can get if you're strong enough. A bite is a bit predictable, but you can get all the major pickups in one run, which is like this. I accidentally loaded a rocket, epic fail. So you get the 100 health, then the shield belt, and then the U damage all together. But you need A, to be very lucky to find everything, and B, strong enough to survive everything, because everything is on pretty bad locations for a player to stay. So this is a sniper area, not very much to say. Also from the U damage area. I really wish I could lower this volume. Also from this area you can hit the player a lot easier, a lot more easily. There is still this wall run here. Yeah, so basically you can switch from these 2 platforms mid-air pretty much from everywhere. Now for this ones, this area wasn't a big problem, but it was the one I worked up the most. I didn't really expect it to be so expensive in time, but with the most simple thing you can do this. Also on this side, you can do this, and then, yeah, you know. But you can also do this, not this, this. Basically you pop through the waterfall, which is a nice effect for me. But you can also do this. If you feel this way is a bit too obvious and vulnerable, because as a matter of fact, at this point you are pretty vulnerable by walking through here, so you want to stay here the least possible. So you can just do this, and then, yeah, possibly without failing the last jump. But like I mentioned before, you can also switch between the two pillars. There are some nice combinations that you can do. Like this, for example. Like then taking the armor, going onto the lift, and taking the 100 health. Or there's actually another one. Like for example, if you come from here, you can take a little bit of health. Then you make use of this, of the lift. Take the 100 armor, switch onto the pillars. Ah! Yeah, you basically can wall dodge there. I'll actually show that again. Like this. And then you can go up here. Now I'll show how difficult it is for me. You need to find the perfect timing. It's a bit difficult to reach it, but it's, you see, it's still possible. And the gravity isn't that low. Like, you can still be on acceptable values attracted to the ground. It doesn't always work. You need to find the perfect timing for it. Ah. But yeah, you got the basic idea. Kinda missed it. I feel lost without my settings. I had the default ones. Now for this lift. Okay, that was a bit too powerful. There are a lot more tricks in this map now. Yeah, you basically can reach this point. You can. Not like this, but yes, you can. Like this. It requires a bit of practice, but you can also reach that 25 area. Like this. And then, it would have been too beautiful. Now for this area, before that on the previous version you couldn't because you would go through. But now from here you can do a wall run and then dodge directly on the shield belt area, or you can jump, and then climb up here. The box's idea was from plastic block. Now from here, no, like this you see it much better. You can jump here and here. And you can climb up here. It is not the most useful resource, also because you can just reach the teleporter and you're actually on a safer position. But let's say you want to reach this area, but you're aware that there's an enemy on that area and you want to avoid them, you can always take this route. And that's pretty much it. There are other tricks, some that I accidentally created. There must be for sure, I don't know. or some others that I forgot to mention, but I think that's pretty much it. That's quite a long recap actually, 25 minutes already. I was suggested to totally remove the area, but I kind of like having a player start here because you're pretty safe here. If the enemy doesn't know that you're spawning here, you're actually pretty safe, and you're pretty close to the shock rifle, but even though you go for a pretty big risk at taking it. And here there was only this flak ammo pickup, and to make this corridor a bit more useful I put 50 health in case you're escaping. Oh, there's another small trick here that you can use. Not this one. Sensitivity here is really high. You can just do the wall run and then dodge down here directly.
5-minute warning.
Yeah, I know. I really hate this. Single tap dodge activated and extremely high sensitivity. It's a pain. And then you can just dodge down like this. There are several tricks that you can get. Another one for the U damage. Taking the jump pad is a bit predictable and can be heard, and if there's someone going for the U damage in here and has a shock rifle, as soon as they hear the jump pad, they can hit a combo here. So you can do this, and then you've got it. This way you can avoid some of the damage or some of the knockout, and even though you get knocked out, you can get knocked out like here, but you get still 25 armor and some health as well, which is not a bad thing. And there's also this trick here. To quickly reach the other side without getting too much into trouble. And you can also do it like this. Well, I was actually supposed to land in here, but sensitivity. Let's blame the sensitivity. Like this. The previous version I've only tested it in elimination, but I would like to test this one also on team deathmatch, also to check if I put the
3 minutes remain.
The pickups in the right position, or if it's too unbalanced on one side or another, or etc, etc, etc. I admit the barriers can be a bit too bright, but the blueprint basically leaves me little choice on this, so I'm kind of forced to keep it like this until I find another solution. So this is pretty much it, and that was my door closing, if in case you guys heard it. And this is pretty much it for this Pavilion V2, which is already on UTCC, and if it's not already, it will be soon on Unreal Pugs hubs and or in other hubs as well. I have contacted also some other hub administrators to check if it was possible to have it in other hubs for testing, and in case you find it, please let me know if and when you test it and what you think. That would be really great, and it can help making a version number 3 faster and more easily. With this image, I say goodbye to you, thanks for watching, and catch you guys on game or somewhere else. Cheers guys!